Stop.
Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome back to Soul Therapy with Lady D. And surprise, I have my two soul sisters here. I have Chrissy and aspiring alchemist, my Carrie. Thank you
Hey
so much
there.
for coming on. Originally, this morning when I did my rant, because I went out of my mind. Um, I wasn't going to go on. I was going to go on alone, and then Chrissy and Carrie and I did a conference call, three-way conference call. And in the midst of it, I said, girls, will you come on with me? I know it's last minute. And of course, they decided because it's a very important topic and it's for the greater good. Um, so if any of you did not see my little quick video that I released earlier today, um, I will reiterate the reason why I'm having this last minute sort of live this evening. Okay, so like many of you, I have not been able to sleep. And I was literally, because there's a lot going on energetically with, the resonance, the vibration of the earth, spiritually, we all know what's going on, the portal, upgrades, it's all the gamut of it. Long story short, I couldn't sleep. My body was exhausted, but my mind would not shut off. So when that happens, what I do is I stream YouTube and I put on scriptures of God and I play inspired scriptures. So I listen to all that and I kind of get all my biblical verses and while I sleep. And there's many channels, like listen while you sleep. And of course, in between the videos, they have little short videos of advertisements. And in the middle of my one of these, I heard that I saw this, and this is why I lost my mind. So I'm going to share my screen right now.
Get ready, people. Evil is among us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, full moon. Yeah, that's been a true full moon too, Delphine, remember?
On the weekend of April the 28th to the 30th, the Satanic Temple are coming to the city of Boston to hold what they claim will be the largest satanic gathering in history and a weekend of blasphemy. And as followers of the Lord Jesus Christ, we know differently. While they think they are coming to ambush Boston, little do they know that God has planned to ambush them. As a counter response, we have planned a revival on the same weekend to destroy the works of the enemy and see a mighty outpouring of the Holy Spirit. This is being held every night at 7 p.m. on April the 28th to the 30th at the Revere Hotel, Boston Commons, 200 Stewart Street, Boston, Mass. And on the Saturday, we are organizing a historic citywide evangelism campaign to populate heaven with thousands of souls, including the Satanists. Already hundreds of believers across Massachusetts are joining this revival from all kinds of denominations. Friends, this is what unity looks like. And it only happens when we are united in the great commission of our Lord Jesus Christ. Because the gospel is the power of God, and this gospel must be preached to every creature under heaven. Church, this is not a time to be afraid, because the Bible says one of you could put 1,000 to flight. Since it is the Lord God who fights for you, revival is already breaking out in other parts of America, and now is the time for Boston to take part in this revival and join our historic street evangelism campaign. Sign up at reviveboston.org now.
Okay,
I love this guy.
okay. So needless to say, when I heard that, I went from I wasn't scared. I was bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, really? Really? Okay, so I'm going to try to be calm and not yell. However, okay,
However.
first and most, when your religion creates the evil atrocities, kills people, rapes children, all the evil things, it's not a religion, it's evil. Period. Second of all, Satan, like literally Satan, is going to come to my city with his demons. I'm telling you one thing, not on my fucking watch. Okay? So I am going to be an evangelist of God. Soul Therapy Lady D is going to turn into the God channel, because this is big time war, folks. Okay? We know that God's going to win. He always is going to win. We're not, okay? So this is not fear mongering. However, they're trying to change the timelines. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the last ditch effort. Okay? For them, because they know their time is up. What they want to do is they want to come here and they're going to spread all kinds of spells, okay? And half the church is not even talking about this. Now, that man that I just showed the video on, he's from the UK. And my question is, why isn't this being spread to every church known to mankind? Every church. Now, I already knew there was a satanic temple in Salem, and it made me sick to my stomach. Believe me, I would like to go bomb it, to tell you the truth, and get everyone in there before I bomb it and obliterate the motherfuckers all. However, I would go to jail, and that's not God's way. So, and there's certain freedom of religion when I say, listen, it's not a religion. When, if I go up and punch someone, shoot someone in the head and say, I did it for God. I'm sorry. It's not a religion. It's evil. It's just evil, period. Okay, I don't know what's going through these idiots' heads, why anyone would praise the Antichrist. I don't understand it. All I can say is they're evil and they're dumb. And quite frankly, they deserve to be enslaved to Satan for all eternity if they're part of the Satanic Temple. But all I know is that we need to gather together, folks. This is it. Okay, this is biblical times. He's trying to come to my city, and I know I said it's my city, but it is my city, okay? It's my city, and I'm going to be a part of this revival, okay? I would love to get as many people here as possible, okay? It's not about religion. It's about God. So I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you're Christian, you're Jewish, you're a Buddhist. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim. This is not religion. This is good against evil. You need to pick a side, Team Messiah or the Antichrist. And that's it. And as Chrissy said to me on the phone, we can't sit on our asses on the couch thinking that God's going to save us. We need to get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get in the game, because this is what's happening. Now, another thing that I want to tell you is that I watched Julie Green, okay? And last week on her show Wednesday, and during a prophecy, she said, God said, and watch Boston, something really big and huge is going to happen in Boston. And of course, because I live south of Boston, 30 miles south of Boston, my ears perked up. I was piqued. And then when I heard that this morning, God gave me that download, that's the thing that's going to happen in Boston. This is it. This isn't just a couple of bad people that want to come. This is the biggest satanic church event ever. Okay? So if Satan's going to have his minions, it's time for God's army. That means it's time to get out our swords and it's time to fight. Now, it's not our burden, and it's not our, we don't need to wake people up anymore. If they're not woken up by now, that's between them and God. And quite frankly, they're not going to wake up. I think they're going to need a supernatural event from God. Mm-hmm. And it's not our burden. It's not our problem anymore. It's part of their soul contract. What we need to do is we need to fight and get our warrior pants on, strap on our boots, because it's war time. It's go time, Soul Tribe. It's good against evil. And we are part of God's army. And how do we fight? We fight with prayer. We fight with words. We fight with love and heart-centered intention. Mm-hmm. And we do not give in to fear, because fear is what Satan has used to disempower us for years, for centuries. We have more power over Satan and evil because we have the power of God within us. We are God's children. God lives inside of us. Satan is afraid of us, and he should be, because now we know our power, and now he's scared. And that's why I was swearing at him, and I'll tell him to go fuck himself anytime. I'm not afraid of him. I'm going to make sure he goes down with all his minions, and I'm going to love every minute of it. And none of us should be afraid of him. We are more powerful than him, and together, we're going to blast these MFers out of my city. Trust me.
Yeah.
So, that being said, there's a few things that, before I came on, God wanted me to let, Spirit wanted me to let me say, and then I'm going to let my sisters talk. First of all, we are at war, okay? This is spiritual war. And half of the world doesn't even know it or doesn't even care. And meanwhile, our enemies are having their biggest event ever. It's like now think of this. If we were at a war with a country, and so let's say that we were in the war with Europe, okay? And all of Europe was having a big event against us. Would we just do nothing about it? Or would we counterattack? It's time for the counterattack. It's time for us to wake up every church known to mankind, because this isn't about religion. This is about God or the devil. And I hate to tell people, I don't care if you don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. He's the king to the kingdom. I hate to tell you, you need to get over that and get over religion and what a book told you. Fuck the books. All the books have been rewritten anyway. Okay? Jesus is, okay, I'm an EA. Everybody knows that I've been an executive assistant for many years. That's my trade besides being a psychic tarot reader. God is the CEO. And you can't get to the CEO unless you go through the EA. Mm-hmm. And Yeshua the Christ is the EA. And you ain't getting to God unless you go through the gatekeeper, and that's Yeshua. So you want to get to God, you better call and make an appointment with his EA, and that's Yeshua. Okay, so get over. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Jewish and you don't believe that God's the Messiah. Get over yourself. You want to see God? It's not about your goddamn religion. Sorry, goddamn religion. I'm saying God. It's not about your religion. It's about the fact that Yeshua was the first son of God. God incarnated himself, and it's Yeshua. So you can put whatever label it is, but he's the kingdom to heaven because he's our portal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
He's the light.
He's the light. He's our way. So we need to get over religion and realize that God's telling us that Yeshua is his EA. He's the gatekeeper. Now, if you don't want to talk to God's EA, then you don't get to talk to God. Period. Okay, I'm going to stop yelling now. It's time to choose sides. It's either Messiah or Antichrist. Period. And if you have this thing that you can't get over, that Jesus was the Son of God, he's the Messiah, just think of this. Yeshua is God incarnate. Period. As much as God can be incarnated into a human being. He's the representation of God in flesh and bone. Period. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to let Chrissy go. Because I've been screaming for like 2 days now.
How do I follow that, Delphine? How do I follow that one? Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I can.
Well, what do you think about, oh, I will tell you another thing, too, and you can go on this about how you feel about this big satanic gathering. Okay, so I grew up Catholic, so I went to visit my parents today, okay?
Oh, yeah, you got to tell me.
So I walked in and I was all revved up. I'm like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. The biggest satanic event ever is going to happen in Boston. And they're like, oh, it's no big deal. They happen all the time. I said,
freedom of
excuse
religion.
me. What do you think happens at these events? What do you think they're going to do? What do you think their intention is? Do you think they're going to hold everyone's hands and say kumbaya and do great things? I said, Ma, we're living in supernatural times. What is going on with you? You're Catholic. You should know this. You're Christian. You're a cantor. I used to sing in the choir with her.
Yeah.
She goes, what? I don't want to hear. You're making too much. It's Good Friday. You're making me nervous. I said, Good Friday, Ma. What are you talking about? We didn't even know. It's not even Good Friday. Do you really think that Jesus died this weekend and everything happened? This is a Hallmark holiday. This is what she says to me. Well, I'm not eating meat today, and it's Good Friday.
That's okay. Well, just as long as we're not eating meat, everything will be okay.
Exactly.
Disappear. Satan
Right,
and his followers are going to disappear because we're not eating meat today.
Right. So I said to her, oh, well, you're not eating meat. You're following a Catholic rule made by
a man,
pedophile priests that screw children and rape children. And, oh my God, you're not eating meat. Well, okay, God, problem solved. And then I said, you call yourself a Christian. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm not talking to you. And I haven't talked to my mother since because I can't even take the rest of them. That being said, go Christy. Christy McNichol. Christy.
Oh my God, that just cracks me up. I mean, this is the thing. Religion. I just please get this in your head. Religion is a man-made, meant to control you. All this. I mean, I believe that that this is Passover. I believe that he was killed on the cross. I believe that he rose. Okay. And I believe in Jesus Christ. That's it. That's it. I mean, it's very simple. There's none of this other machinations that people go through. I mean, I've got family in Florida. They're crazy. They're going to church, going to mass every freaking day. They're doing, oh, we can't do this, say that. They're doing. I just can't. I can't. I think what we have to do is, like I said to Delphine earlier, we have to get in the fucking game at this point. You have to. It's called choose whom you will serve today. Now, this is the moment in time where we have to choose. There's no more time left. It's done. These people, these evil bastards, it's not a religion. It's a practice. It's like they believe that in the demons, they use them to control, to gain their whatever it is that they want. They kill children. I'm sorry, they do. They sacrifice animals. Okay, maybe I should plead to the animal lovers out there. I don't know. They do. They drink the crap. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. They drink the bad stuff. These people, if you don't believe it, then I'm sorry, you're living in a fucking dream world, because I don't even know what to say at this point. You have to get up, put your armor of God on, and just get in the game. Listen, it's scary in the sense of, I mean, maybe people are going to, we don't know what's going to happen. But all I know is, and God knows this about me, when I make a decision or I know that this is right or whatever, I do not falter. It doesn't matter. If you come to my door and you say, I need to put, you need, you have to have a chip in you, or we're going to take you, fine, take me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You could do whatever you want. So yeah. I liken this, if you want to, let's just go into 3D world for a moment. Remember when the orcs were like attacking Mordor, or attacking and Aragorn and the elves, everybody, they were in that battle. That's where we're at. These people that are having this horrific, first of all, in Boston, which is very, I mean, the Revolutionary War started there.
Irish Catholics, so many Christians are here.
Very Irish Catholic. There's a reason for that. They're doing this strategically, and I really do believe that they're trying to get us onto a different timeline, because I think we have switched. I think our timeline has switched. They know they're losing. They don't have any other. I mean, I've never in my life heard of this type of a big, huge event before.
I know.
And we have to just start getting in the game, fighting for what you believe in, standing for what you believe in. I'm sick of this, I'm afraid to say this or that. You have to stand in your truth. You have to get in the
Right.
game. You have to do that. This is the moment. Everything that's happened in my life and everything else, this is why. Because God knew that I would be very fierce. I'm going to be, this is the way it is. This is what I believe in. And I would stand no matter what. It doesn't matter
Yep.
what they do.
Well
And that's what
said.
we have
Oh, we have echo. We have to turn it.
So that's
Stupid
my
echo.
I
Yeah.
feel like getting
Mhm.
the game people, get in the game. You have to. This
Yep.
is good versus evil. This is we are in the upside down right now. I call it the upside down world, right? Because they're trying to invert everything. And if we don't stand up, it's done. They will win. So we have to stand up. We have to proclaim our destiny, our future. We have to. We
Well,
have to. I
right.
mean,
Well, God's ultimately gonna win. Okay. I don't think if we don't stand up, we're gonna win. God's ultimately gonna win. It's just that it's gonna take longer if we don't stand up.
if we
I
don't
mean,
stand
God's
up,
gonna
right?
has the power, but we have to participate.
Yeah.
Harry, you're the calm one on the panel tonight. You're the
Yes.
one. I'm glad you're here because you're very calming, and because me and Chrissy have been like for like a week now. So, what do you think about all this and this satanic thing that's happening in Boston? And what's going on with you, my dear?
Well, I've learned a lot from my friend Kim, and I just had a long conversation with her yesterday.
Wonderful.
Am I echoing?
I'm on fire.
A little
I'm
bit.
on fire for the Lord.
I turned down my volume. Is it me?
I have no idea.
It's
You're
not
good
me.
now. I think you're good now. Was that better?
Yeah,
I
that's
think you're
better.
good now.
We'll
Yeah,
find
that's
out.
better. You're good now.
And one of the things that Kim has said is that, God created this game of life, and he wanted there to be the opposing darker side, but they went way too far and they completely crossed the line. And she said, with the whole drinking of the substance and the torture and all that went way too far. And so that's why, now we're going to be evening the playing field, and we're just going to take them out. We're going to have the separation of the timelines, and those that are not awake and that are not ready to ascend and they want to continue the game of life, they'll get to continue it. And if they're like in 4D, then they won't have it be as bad as it has been. But anyway, that was important to note, was that they just went way too far.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, because you always wonder, it's like, why did God have to even create? Like, if he created everything, how did evil get created? And why did he have to create the opposite?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So he said there was meant to be that dark, but the opposite, but they went way too far.
And
Yeah.
see, this is what I see, though. I think everything was good until Satan and his army of angels wanted to overthrow God. And that's when there was evil already, like, burning within Lucifer, right? So he slipped. There was that evil, and then when he fell, it fell all over every dimension. There how many thousands of angels were with him? You got to remember that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess the story is that he was jealous of God. Everything was good, and then he was jealous of God, and then he wanted to take over God, which is okay, whatever.
Yeah, right, whatever. Like,
And so he was right. So he was kicked down to heaven, and he was kicked down to earth, and he's been here ever since. And I've fully said that I believe that here in 3D in earth, that we're the top layer of hell. Because what is hell? Hell is the place where Satan lives and he rules, and we're in hell. We're in earth. So we're the top layer of hell, basically.
Yeah,
So Yeah, I do think it's very important for us to get in the game, and we do need to start praying. And we're part of this. God does not. It's not something that we can sit on the couch and eat chips and think we're going to be saved. It's not. It's not like this.
Right.
We need to get in the game. And this is, at first, when I saw this about this satanic thing, I was like, oh my gut. It was like a kick in the gut. And then I was so mad, and I was like, I was screaming. I'm like, not my city. Really? And then I was like, wow, Julie Green. So, I mean, she's on target, man. I know some people can't get over her presentation, and that's all fine because he has a different bunch of
Yeah,
prophets.
everybody does it
But
differently.
she said just last week, Boston, and of course, because I live here, I piqued my interest. I'm like, what's going on? And then this happened. And what are the chances of me to happen to see this? Now, my question is, every church, like I said, every temple, everyone should be here in Boston counteracting this evil, in my opinion. And this should be, I mean, any person of God should know this, but I really believe that half of the churches don't even know about this, or they're not taking it seriously.
They're oblivious. I mean, I texted the little group in my, nobody even texted me back. Like, I said, can you believe this? Asleep at the wheel. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I mean, I want to get a revival going in Olympia, and on that same weekend or even leading up to that. I mean, we haven't done shit here in Seattle. Seattle's the den of hell here. I mean, we've got oh God, anyway. You just don't know.
So Carrie, did you have anything else that you wanted to share that your friend told you? Because
yeah, so my friend Kim is she's very psychic, and she sits on a galactic council, but she mostly has her mind, her memory's wiped when she does that at night.
Mm-hmm.
So she remembers some things. And she's talking to me a lot about ascension.
Okay.
And you know that a lot of the planets are at 0 degrees right now?
No. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them have lined up in 0 degrees. And then as soon as the sun goes to 0 degrees, then we have the event. The solar, whatever it's going to be.
Whatever it's going to be.
Wow.
And it's been preparing us all along, because the thing is, like, if we'd gotten the whole enchilada of all the solar codes at once, it would have dematerialized us.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't handle that all at once. So we've been getting the X flares, the M flares. We've been getting all of these solar flares, and they are giving us bigger and bigger doses of plasma crystalline light energy. And she says that, like, we are totally wired for this anyway. We are wired for ascension. So she says there's actually quartz crystal at the end of each nerve ending in our body. I know, that was news to me.
Wow.
And there's like liquid quartz in the lining of our intestines, which is right near the solar plexus, which is so important. Like she says, the seat of the soul is actually in the solar plexus.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that is the seat of power. That makes sense. Hold on. My dog is playing with her stuffed tiger. And she barks like, shh, play quietly. She barks at the tiger, and then she beats it up. It's this big old IKEA big tiger.
Oh, she's cute. I love you, doggies.
So cute.
So hopefully she'll do it quietly. So yeah, we are going from carbon to crystalline, and we're totally wired for it. So we've already got this quartz crystal in us, and so as we get more and more, and so apparently the Schumann resonance spiked to like 21 hertz yesterday, which is a huge high frequency. We started at like 7 or 8.
21, from 7 or 8 to 21.
Yeah, so we were like 7.8 or something like that for eons of time, and then I think it was starting around 2012 that we started to. They realized that the short resonance was increasing.
Wow.
And so yeah, now we were at a huge. So when these things happen, when we have spikes like this, you get really sleepy and exhausted. And I'm pretty sure everyone has felt that.
For sure.
So like we're getting all these doses to level us up, and at the same time the poles are flipping. The north and south poles are flipping. Well, it also turns out that like those poles are also represented in us, in our vessels. And so everything, so it's making us like during the night we're like wired and wide awake, and then during the day we're really sleepy, and it's all because of this flipping.
That makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of us are going through that.
Yeah, and so we're just getting ready for this ascension process, and there is the possibility, and I'm not saying dates so much as I'm saying an event, because we're having an event that's coming up that if you think of every day in the year, what is the day that people are most prone to be in their heart space? And it isn't, it's Easter. It isn't Christmas. Christmas, everybody's focused on gifts and Santa Claus and what have you. But Easter, like, there's no prescribed thing you have to do that day. There, it's just everyone, it gets together and they're in their heart space. So the opportunity is there, possibly for this solar event and this ascension to happen on Sunday the 9th. And that number 9 is not an accident either, because in numerology, 9 is the last number. So I know in the tarot cards it's 10, but in numerology it's 9 is the final number.
And 9 is a multiple of 3, which is the Trinity, so that makes sense as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
333, right?
Yeah. 3 times 3 is 9.
I don't know how this is supposed to happen, but Kim says not only could ascension happen on Sunday, but also the EBS, and and I don't know.
I hope so. Hey man, I'm ready. Bring it.
I know. Well, and supposedly the quantum system is all set up and running.
Yeah.
Already.
It's already been running for about, I think, 6 months, honestly. I think it's already been in the background about 6 months or so. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, so we could hear all kinds of messages. We could have the EBS. We could end up hearing that we're going into Nasara. I mean, it's all probable. It's all possible, but we'll see. But the important thing is to be in your heart and not be focused on duality and separation, because anyone who's totally focused on duality and separation is not going to ascend. They're not in that space, because they're just not ready. There's no judgment about it. They're just not ready. So I have to look at my notes some more, but that's what I got so far.
Okay. That's amazing. That's amazing. What would you consider being in duality, Carrie? If like, say, if somebody said, well, how do I not be in duality? Especially maybe on Easter Sunday where there's going to be lots of family gatherings.
If you're with your family, you got to stay as much in the witness state as you can. That's like staying in the seat of your soul and just watching what's going on, being in the world, but not of it.
Yes.
Because no one can trigger you like your family. So you may not want to actually be with them this particular Easter. I don't know. It just depends on how easily triggered you feel you are.
Right.
But the greatest weapon against evil is love. They absolutely cannot stand love. That is like, what is that substance with Superman? Kryptonite.
Yep.
It's absolute kryptonite to them. And so, not easy to do, but we have to actually send them love.
Yeah.
And easier said than done.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But you're absolutely right. It's, in this world, when somebody does something to you, first reaction is wanting to do it back. But that's what Jesus meant. Sorry, Jesus. Yeshua. Sorry, program Yeshua, because he's not Jesus. He's Yeshua. Yeshua said, turn the other cheek. That's what he meant.
Yeah.
He didn't mean keep on getting pummeled and walked on. He just said,
not
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen,
exactly.
I mean, the reason that the priests and everybody around during the time the Roman Empire and all that, when he was there preaching, they were mad because people were like listening to him and they wanted to stop him. I mean, that's but he wasn't afraid. He was like, well, okay, it is what it is. You kind of have to just get into that mode of sort of like, that's your, it is what it is. This is what God said. This is what Yeshua taught. This is our only way out. Really. Yeah, kill them with kindness and love. Definitely.
Yep. It's really hard for me because I grew up as,
Yeah, you were Catholic,
when
right?
you're very sensitive and you're a psychic kid, you get bullied a lot because it's so I was taught, and especially in the Northeast, we're tough here. So I was taught, somebody comes at you, okay, they don't teach this now, but my father told me if somebody bullies you, you punch them in the face and they'll never bully you again, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So
Back
in my motto. I've never been in a fist fight. I've punched a few chicks because they messed with me, but out of self-defense, and they never messed with me again. That was back in high school because they were jealous of me because I was the head cheerleader. But you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's like we have to kill them with love, but it's so hard because we get so angry. I mean, like. Look at me when I heard that he was coming. I was like, that video. I was cursing that jerk.
Yeah.
The
I know.
devil.
You lost it. You were like,
sorry,
oh my God, you think you're going to come in here and do that?
Right.
Here in Seattle, there's a huge undercurrent of Satanists here. And there's actually cannibalistic restaurants in Seattle, I've heard. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a whole undercurrent here in Washington State, which, it's just disgusting. And the fact that, we all just have to band together during this time. We have to somehow.
God is disappointed and upset because his church is asleep, and his church. Yeah. I don't mean like a religion. We're his church.
Right.
His children. We're all asleep. Not all asleep, but most of them asleep.
A lot are.
Okay? We need, and that's why he's upset and he's disappointed. Yeah. I mean, and I just.
And listen,
I know so many of us are just exhausted physically and emotionally. I just like feeling like a truck hit us. And now, thank you. That makes a lot of sense, Carrie, because I was thinking, like, what is going on? I know we've had like there's been allergies, and
Mhm.
somebody said that they were trying to do another what was it when they spray in the air? They were trying to kill with the chemtrails, and then I think Lori was telling me they were doing something with the chemtrails, and then the white hats counteracted it, so there's even more allergies. I don't know, but it's I don't know. It's just it's so hard to stay focused and to be not be angry
Yeah,
because it's just and I
it
think
is.
we want to fight, and I think another thing too is that we're all warriors at night, and
Yeah.
spiritually we're warriors, so
Yeah.
you can't sometimes you can't be one day in your day job and your night job. There has to be a bleeding. So we can't go like fighting demons and stuff
Yes,
and then be like, Kumbaya, my lord.
I
I think,
know.
know,
Well, what Kim
so
reminded me of too is that spiritual war has to be fought with wit and wisdom,
yes.
which of course is what the 5D chess that
5D
Trump
chess.
and the White Hats are doing.
mhm,
Um, so we outsmart them.
that's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
for sure. Yeah. And I think too, if we can band together, I mean, even if we are not able to be, physically in Boston that weekend or whatever, we should all be online and doing our prayers, doing something to combat it during that weekend. Because the Soul Tribe, we're the ones that have to stand in the gap for the people that are just asleep at the wheel,
Right.
they don't understand how dangerous this is. They're trying, think about it. I believe, that we did switch, that we switched timelines, okay, and then what happened? They put that god awful demonic statue up in New York. Remember the one with the
Yeah,
whatever ram's horns and whatever? They put
Mhm.
that
yeah.
up, and
Baphomet.
yeah,
Baphomet, the evil seductress. Yep.
yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, they're trying for that, they're trying to gather their power up, and they think that if they all get together and do their spells and their witchcraft, their black magic, I mean, it's going to be we have to really, really be aware of what's going on around us too during this time frame, because I
Right.
feel like, people, there's going to be curses, spells, black magic, there's going to be all these things that they're going to try to do to us, and we have to like say our prayers, do our protection prayers every single day. I'm doing it multiple times a day now, and I do it
Right.
around my property. I do it around
Right.
my
Right.
family, my pets, everything, because
Right.
yeah, it's a war.
It is a word. And another thing is that we have power in our word. And people say, well, how
Yeah,
wit and power? So that's right. Use your wit and power because it's a chess match because the evil does one and God will do this, or
right,
bad people one. But how do we counteract the evil? The power's in the word. Like right now, the veil is thin and it's thinner and thinner and thinner and
right,
thinner and thinner. It's amazing now. Like I'm doing readings and I can't believe the stuff I'm getting, but it's not me. It's not me. It's because the veil is thin and I'm a
right.
channel. That's all it is. So
Yep.
how do we do this? Like we said, we focus on our heart space. Okay. So, which is, me, I'm a hothead. So I'm going to have to really, really let go and really pray and tell because I'm
Like
just
all the
having
fun.
fun.
I don't know what I'm doing now. I can't stand it. These.
It's just so it's gonna be really hard for me to be at that. I'm gonna have to have my heart space open. So hopefully I'll ascend before that satanic thing happens.
Yeah, I know, right?
So we have to really, I think, just speaking in. So this is the time
Yeah.
to really just focus and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray.
Speak
But
what it is that you want. Like we want our 5D.
Right.
That's what we want. We want
we
to
want the demise
essentially
of all evil. We want the
demise
demise
of
of
all evil. Yes,
We want the demise of the big guy. We want the bad guys, the bad big guy. We want the demise. Speak it in, because God, this is what he wants. We can't
yes.
sit idly by and go, okay, because we're part of this. We are part of this.
And one person isn't going to do it. Now, I do want to bring up Trump just for a minute because I think it was very, there was a reason that they arraigned him the day before Passover, okay,
Yep.
started. He walked into the courthouse at 2:30 p.m. 30 is the number of pieces of silver that Judas got to betray Jesus. And then he walked out of the courthouse at 3:35. And if you add that, I think it was 3:35. You add that together, that equals 10, which is 10 is the 10 plagues of Egypt. There's a reason that happened. Yeah, 3:25. He
Yeah.
exited the courthouse at 3:25. 325 equals 10, and then you think of the 10 plagues of Egypt. So there's a reason that they're doing this. Okay, he is the anointed. We know that he's been anointed, and that's why we bring him into this. Like what you were saying, Delphine, earlier. You have to. He's our David. You have to understand. Like he's being persecuted.
Right.
During this week, he was persecuted like Jesus was. Okay, but he will rise again. Just like Jesus. I mean, it's not like anyway. There's reasons behind every single move that they make. And the White House, I think, are doing all. The other thing that I got, I mean, I'm going to just tell you guys, I pulled cards. I asked about the stupid December 4th thing, and I got that, we're going to have to go through it, but it's going to bring out all the truth, everything that's, that, and the media is going to be forced to talk about it, and that's going to be it. It's going to be game over. That's what I got. But
You got that? What? There's going to be a thing in December where Trump is going to be.
I asked if we were going to have to watch this December 4th trial crap with Trump. I mean, are we really going to have to go through that and listen and do this whole trial? And I got a yes, and I got that it was going to bring out truth. I got the Ace of Swords, and I also got the Ace of Wands. 2 aces.
All right, but you also have to give a caveat, like we talked about earlier, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be watching it real time. You have to remember that the tarot cards are very literal. And you said, are we going to have to watch? Now, before you give everyone a 3D heart attack, you need to let people know that we can watch from the 5D. That doesn't mean we're going to be here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean when you said we, that could be the collective, meaning that we.
Yeah.
Not going to watch it. The people that are left here are going to watch it.
No, you're right.
You have to realize that the cards are very literal.
It's anyway, that's all I'm saying. I just think that I mean, honestly, we just need to get anyway. I just want to move forward on this. I'm so over it,
We're very tired, and the council. Carrie, didn't you say that your friend told the council that we're tired, we can't do this anymore?
She did. She said our souls are exhausted. Those of us who are needing to hold the light, we're becoming so exhausted that this is not good. We need to get this thing going here. And that's when they said, well, let's take a look at Sunday.
DHP Jr., you're lucky I love you.
There's going to be a cat fight, DHP.
Because all I was doing was just making sure that Chrissy lets people know that before she does that, because when people hear that they're going to go till December and there's going to be a Trump arraignment, she's going to give people a nervous breakdown. So I'm letting her know that everything's literal. And DHP goes, Chrissy and Lady Dude going at it, pulling hair and all. All I'm going to say is you're lucky I love you, DHP, and you're poking the bear, and now's not the time to do it, sweetheart. I'm not in the mood.
I know. That's okay. Listen, I trust Delphine. I mean, I'm just starting out on all this, but I only do it for myself, cold hard. I ask all kinds of questions.
I love you, DHP. I love you, DHP. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure because I know when she told me that, I got upset. I was like, I don't care what your fucking cards say. I'm not going to be here, and Trump's not going to be arraigned in fucking December. I know that right now. It ain't happening. Okay? It's not going to go that far. So I don't know what
Okay.
that was all about because I didn't want to accept those cards. Sorry.
Yeah, she didn't want to accept it. So I said, okay, well, listen, I trust you over anything. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that's what I got. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just saying.
And I love you, DHP Junior. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so
Yeah, we love you.
what else did your friend say? I mean, it seems like your friend has some intel, and since she's on a galactic council, I want to get all the information we can from this. This is intriguing, Carrie.
Yeah. Well, that's why I tried to take a bunch of notes, but I didn't get to listen to my whole recording again. You know, the important thing is that we are wired for ascension and that we're ready to do this. It's going to put us into stasis when it happens. So as soon as the sun goes to 0 point and joins the planets at 0 degrees, we'll be put into a stasis, and that's how we will make our quantum leap. It happens through the sun. And my understanding also is that we'll have our Merkabas surround us, and that protects us from, you know, the solar energy. Let me see what else I've got here. She also started to talk about how, you know, in the crash of the SVB bank, what's that bank called again?
The bank that happened in San Francisco in California?
Yeah.
The Silicon Valley one?
Silicon Valley, that's it.
Okay.
So she said when the Silicon Valley Bank crashed, actually all the banks did at that time. We just don't know it. And she said that the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all their accounts got liquidated. So, and it all got put in the quantum system.
That's awesome. Bring it. Bring it.
Yeah, so central banking system is kaput. It's done. It's the White Hats are in complete control of the banking system. And that's globally. That's not just the U.S. That's
globally, yeah.
And you know, you may have seen that Putin just forgave $56 million of South Africa's debt. You know that.
Really?
Yeah.
That
sort of thing is going to keep going.
Wow.
So I mean, I think we're all set. You know, didn't Q say done in 30 as of like April Fool's Day? Isn't that what they're trying for? You know, and then Bull Pony talks about May Day, May 1st, being significant. I don't know. I think we're about to get a whole bunch of incredible, wonderful things happening. So the important thing to do is, as these solar flares come in, not only do they make us sleepy, but they're bringing up all of our stuff that hasn't been dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because what Kim was saying is we can't take our radio flyer wagons full of trauma and drama with us into 0 point. You know, like that's got to all get dealt with and dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, like, as these things come up, let them come through. You know, see it through. Don't stop it. Don't stop the process. Surrender and just go with it. So, like, you know, you said it. You've been crying. Yeah, just do it. Let it out.
Yeah, yesterday I was doing my little protection prayer or whatever, all my little prayers that I do, and I started bawling. I just out of nowhere. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, I'm not even, why am I crying? Like, it was so weird. And I'm like, well, okay, people are going to think I'm crazy, but that's okay. I'm doing my little prayers, and that's it. You know?
It makes sense. I'm going from like crying and praying and crying and praying to getting angry. I just think
Yeah.
I'm angry because I'm frustrated. I'm just done. I want to be over with.
Frustrating.
I'm just done. And I think that's
Oh,
how
yeah.
we all feel. You
Well,
know, we
and
all feel
Bo,
that way.
Bo Polney brought that up. He said we would get to this point where we were just at our wits' end. And anyone who's ever given birth to a child also knows you get to that point in the birth process where you're just like, you know, get this baby out of me, you know. And right then tends to
I
be
haven't had a
that
child,
tends
so
to
I
be
don't know. But
when the that tends to be when the baby crowns, and that's exactly what my experience was. Just when I thought I couldn't take another moment, then the baby crowned. So
yep.
that's kind of where we are right now. We're in that birth tunnel, and you know, we're just
We're
at
gonna
that
have the
point of-
pains. We're in the pains part, we're in the pains
Yeah.
part. But if we could just hang in there a little longer,
right.
get to the other side, it's gonna be great. I mean, and I mean, I don't have any fear. I mean, I think, of course, I don't watch the news or anything. I mean, I watch, basically, I've been watching Queen of Ravens, Janine,
Uh-huh.
and then, I'll go over Climate Shores, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not paying attention. Bo Pony, if he has a new one, I'll look. Or, Julie, I do
Julie
listen
Green,
to
yeah.
Grace sometimes, if the title is good, but pretty much that's it. I mean, I'm pretty much consumed with my Kirsten Kelly land.
Yeah. I don't even know who Bo Pony is, to tell you the truth. I've never heard of him.
Oh,
I watch all my peeps, and that's it. I don't watch
you
the
know what?
truth. Tarot by Janine, and that's it.
There's one from yesterday that was Julie Green and Bo Pony.
Oh,
So
really?
I'll send you that one. 'Cause
Okay, I'll have to watch that one.
Bo Pony, he looks at what's going on in the
something or
world,
other of
and he
time.
puts it and he aligns it with what's in Revelations, what's going on.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think you might like him. Yeah, he's
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Cool.
I'll send you a
That
link.
sounds good. Hold on a minute. Chuck Jengler has a question, and I wanted to grab it. Let's see. Where'd it go, Chuck?
Oh, there it is. When people use the sign of the cross, is that a good
There we
thing
go.
or bad?
Yeah, that's an upside down cross, which they trick you into believing was one of the disciples. That's actually satanic. Don't do the sign of the cross.
Satanic.
It's very satanic. It was stuck. It was that was the Catholic Church, and that's one of the bad folk. That very, very bad.
It is upside down.
I'm sorry.
And
You're right.
I mean,
yeah, it is upside down.
Yep. It's a trick.
It's a trick.
And also, amen. Also, amen is bad. You don't say amen because that's Amon, which is a demon. Go away, demon. So you say so be it. You say so be it, and you say so be it, and you say or it is so, or thanks be to God. You don't say amen because those are Christian Catholic things that they tricked you in. And have you ever watched? I don't know if you've ever watched a cardinal. I know I was because I was recovering Catholic. If you watched when they appoint a priest or when they do vacant, it's all the satanic colors of red and white. And if you look at the ritual of the Catholic Church, it's all like the blood and it's all satanic and demonic. I mean, the bread and the blood of Christ. What do you think that symbolizes?
And well, there's this. Remember the Vatican, right? With the snake, it looks like a cobra.
Yeah. Well, we all know about the Vatican. Big time. Big time.
Chelsea Clinton, she does wear an upside down cross. She is a member of, and I'll never forget this when I was on Twitter. I remember her talking to there was a guy, the Church of Satan, and people were spreading it around. Look, she's talking to the Church of Satan. Yeah, all of these celebrities, quote celebrities, and these freaking politicians, they're all part of that. A lot of them are. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of them are. Anybody that is hurting children and drinking the bad stuff, the drinking the potion or whatever.
Okay,
You
let's
know,
let's teeter the teetering on. I want to keep my channel. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Chrissy, careful.
sorry.
Yeah,
Anybody?
thank you. Okay, so it's okay. I think we're good, but you started to go there, so I had to remind you. Chelsea Clinton, all I gotta say is not, do you really think that's Chelsea Clinton?
No.
All of them are clones or body doubles. All of them have been dealt and they're south of the border. They've
I
been
hope we're south of the border. I need to see public arrest, though. I need to see it.
I want to tell you something about Liz Cheney.
Huh?
go for it.
Okay, so Kim told me this also. So the day that, what was it, Tuesday, that was the indictment, and so the can I say KM? Kazarian.
Yeah, you could say the cabal.
Okay.
The KM. Yep, the cabal. Kazarian
Yes.
Mafia. You can say that.
Tricked. They were tricked by the whole thing. They really were. They let their guard down. They thought we got them. We won. And so meanwhile, a lot more people that needed to be rounded up were getting rounded up. And so the military surrounded Liz Cheney's house, and they found that there were only 2 guards, because that's how much they'd let their guard down. There were only 2 of the
I love it.
what do you call
Wow.
those that
2
always
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
Mhm.
There were only 2 Secret Servicemen, and the front
Wow.
door was unlocked. So they had to shoot one of the Secret Servicemen because he wouldn't cooperate, and then the other one just was like, okay, whatever. And they got right in the door and got Liz Cheney. So
I love
They're
it.
so
I wish we
good.
could see it on video.
wouldn't that
wanna
be great?
see
That's
it. She
awesome.
must have been shocked. She must have been in shock, like, oh my gosh, like, I thought we were in the clear.
No, they didn't think that they were in the clear. They've known since the big demon, George Bush Sr.'s funeral that their days were numbered. They
Oh,
got the
yeah.
little note. They
That
got
was
the little
epic.
note.
That
Yeah,
whole
they
thing,
did.
that was so epic. I mean, when they got those
And-
letters and everything, and
Yep.
they were all freaking out. But did you notice that Hillary, she just got her own thing. She didn't let on about nothing. She was
Because
just-
Hillary is probably the most evil woman in the world besides Nancy Pelosi.
yeah. Oh God, don't even start on Nancy Pelosi.
And I think I'm going to love watching the because we're gonna get to see the tribunals. They're gonna play them, and I'm gonna love watching
I can't
Hillary
wait.
Clinton. All right, we probably shouldn't say the HC word though. We're gonna call HC. We have to be careful about the politics stuff because they
Yeah.
could. Okay, so HC.
The
We
Wicked
have
Witch. Just call her
the
the
Wicked Witch. All right, the Wicked Witch. She's been. I'm going to really love watching her get it, and Nancy Pelosi the most, even more than Brandon. Those two,
Me too.
especially
Even though-
Pelosi.
Even though they've already been dealt with, and now we're looking at clones or
It doesn't
Right.
matter. We just need to see it's for
Yeah.
closure for us.
They videotaped all the tribunals and all the deaths, so we'll get to see them what happened.
I can't wait. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm like, I need to see it. Needs to happen sooner rather than later. Bring it.
Yeah.
We need these
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that. I'm ready.
What's that, Carrie?
there's also something else that happened to Kim like a week ago. So her husband left the TV on all night by mistake. He likes to watch the who are the guys on Fox that we actually like?
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker. He likes to watch
I
Tucker.
love Tucker.
But by mistake, he left the TV on. And Crystal came down in the living room that morning and she's like, oh, okay, the TV's still on. I need to turn it off. But she was distracted by a text message she got on her phone. So she's looking at that. And the next thing she knows, there's the EBS signal going on. And she's like, what the hell? And they were like doing this EBS practice.
Oh, interesting.
So she
That was
has
last week?
DirecTV, and she's had DirecTV for 25 years and never seen one of these. And this was DirecTV doing this,
They're
practice.
getting ready. It's gonna happen.
And then and this has got to be her guides or whatever did this. But I mean, you know how they have the ticker tape at the bottom that has things going by? And then she sees there's this huge tsunami that just hit LA. On the ticker tape down at the bottom, she's getting, this tsunami just hit LA. And she said this is something that she remote viewed like back in 2009. She knew back in 2009 that this could happen to LA. And
So wait, so in 2009 she remote viewed that was going to happen?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she saw, okay, but then she saw it really in real life, like they didn't make a
She
mistake.
saw it, like her eyes were big as saucers. She's like, oh my God.
So it's almost like they made a mistake. They were doing a practice run and they did it and they made a mistake and they shouldn't have done it.
And she caught it. Wow.
A little glitch in the matrix. Maybe she was in a portal and there's a little glitch in the matrix.
That's what I was going to say.
Maybe she time traveled a little bit and she actually was in a little portal.
Yeah.
Could totally be, but yeah, that was pretty wild.
Wow. And
totally.
That's amazing. Another thing is that you won't hear it on the lamestream media here, but all the BRICS nations have gone public. So the American dollar is tanking big time. And that was another thing that was on Tucker Carlson last night, because basically no one else says it on Fox. And we all know that Fox is another one that's as bad as the rest of them. It's better than most. It's better than most, but it's still part of the clown circus. Okay, let's face it. They're all paid actors anyway. And let's face it, the Republicans are part of the same dirty coin as the Democrats. Okay.
Uniparty.
Okay. So anyway, but I just can't believe the fact that I still can't get over that these demons are having this and this is on front and center. I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
I just can't get over it. I just think that I don't know. I don't know. It's their last ditch effort.
What if that's going to be in a different timeline, though? Like, what if we're...
Yeah, that could be.
What if that's the timeline that they're trying to get back to? That's why they're doing that satanic thing.
Right.
I bet you anything. Because do you remember there was the talk about, they were going to try and get a tsunami going on the East Coast and the West Coast. Remember that?
Yes.
And both sides were going to go right in the water. That's what they wanted.
They changed that timeline. I do remember that. Yes.
And they changed that timeline. Well, I'm thinking these piece of shit that are doing this thing in April. I think that's what they're going to try. They're going to try and back to that timeline. That's what I think.
Well,
they're mad. They know they're done. This is all they can do. They know they're going to try and get all their minions together to do whatever spells or whatever the heck they think they're going to do. But there's more of us than them. And that's what the other thing I wanted to make sure to say. There's more of us than them. That is why Satan is so afraid of us. There's more of us than them. And we have to band together. That's the only way to get, to really get through this and move forward at this point.
Yeah. So, on Easter, so it could happen on Easter Sunday. Now, we're not making any promises because we don't know for sure, but there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility for it. So, I guess on Easter, if you don't want to really, if you feel that your family's going to trigger you, it might be a good idea to just stay home, because I'm thinking about it, because I know they're going to trigger me. And I really did tell you the truth, because I've isolated myself. I really don't have any, this sounds awful, but I'm just going to sit there, because what do I have to talk to them about? Because everything that I want to talk to them about, I can't, because they think I'm nuts. So I'm just going to sit and observe.
Yeah,
What were you-
that's what I'm
We
doing. I'm not.
can't relate to these
not going-
people anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we're just so on a totally different.
I mean, my brother, you know where my brother is? He's in fucking Mexico. I mean, it's like he's just oblivious. Both my brothers are oblivious. My parents are oblivious. And like Carrie said, she was like, "I hope you're not going there because my mom can be very negative. She's like a negative portal, really."
Right. Well, we
Yeah.
just don't have, like you said, we just don't have, I don't have anything in common with most of society
Right.
anymore. I have nothing like, and another thing, it's like all these people, and we talked about this before, it's like, I'm not going to spend my time like doing 3D things because
Yeah.
why? It's all going to crumble imminently.
Right.
Imminently. So the only thing I'm on team God. I'm not going to worry about money or jobs or,
Right.
or any of this bullshit or the 3D or whatever. It's like any moment now it's going to collapse. So it's like, why do we stress about it? And I have to remind myself too, I'm not going to stress about it because it's going to be imminent, and none of this stuff matters. It's all going to crumble, all of it. So all these people that are obsessed about, crypto, it's like, it's all going to crumble.
Yeah, I
I
can't
really
necessarily take my silver with me.
Right. It's,
well, yeah.
and we
my
don't,
oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm
it
just
is
trying-
really bad.
I'm trying not to be too attached to anything.
right.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't just mean physical objects. I mean like to dates, to times, to ideas, to concepts, to just
Well, I'm attached to my kid, but I can bring her with me to the fifth dimension. I don't care.
oh yeah, the animals come with us.
I can bring her with me. She's a fifth dimension. She's a fifth dimensional being anyway in my book. You
Yeah.
don't know. Well, no, I've given that away, but whatever. It's fine.
That's a really good point, Carrie, to just be everything.
Yeah.
Like, don't be attached to anything.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like nothing. Our bodies, nothing.
Right.
Like everything is we're going to be stripped of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So don't touch even people. And that's another thing you all need to understand. And this is going to be a big, hard one, that some of your family members, your husband, my husband's not coming with me. And I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Right.
completely, my whole family's not, I'm going alone. I'm the only one in my family going. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Seriously. And it's like, seriously, my husband, I don't care. I just want to be with Yeshua and God and heaven on earth. That's all we want. That's all we need. Who cares about anything else? Who cares about the rest of it? It doesn't matter.
What he said, what happened.
What's that?
While you're saying that, while you guys are saying that, this popped out.
Oh wow, Ace of Swords.
Wow.
Armor of God's truth. Yep. Anyway, I'm just like shuffling. I just like to shuffle.
Cool.
Well, do we have any last words about anything before we're gonna be going on in an hour and a half, but I just think that if we're still here, hopefully we won't have to even worry about
Yeah.
what's going to happen in April. Hopefully we'll ascend by then.
Yeah.
But if not, I know that I'll be there and I'll be doing something because we're Team God. So we reiterate, Team God. So
God.
I really hope that God's church, which is all of us, the whole world of God, everybody that's of a soul, wakes up and starts to realize, because I don't know if I told you this, but when I woke up during the night, one of the nights, because I say to God, okay, if I'm up, why? And he said to me, what is it? And he said, I'm here and it's time. Okay, so I'm here, it's time. It's time. It's time.
This is
Now,
it.
what day, what hour? It's imminent. So, like Carrie's friend said, it could be, and just think about it, how monumental, even though we know that it's not Easter Sunday and we know that this is not the correct dates. They've messed the dates and the timelines and the dates.
Right.
But how wonderful would it be if it did happen? Because Jesus ascended on Easter Sunday. And we're going to ascend. Wouldn't that make sense?
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't it make
And it's on
sense?
the night. And it's on the 9th, and that's very divine right there.
Yeah.
It's the 9th.
Yeah.
So,
The 9th, and just the important thing is that we're just so much in our hearts on that day. I know I always am.
me too.
Yeah.
Well, I usually
Yeah.
watch Passion of the Christ every year. I try to watch it there, on Easter. I did watch some of The Chosen, which is really good too. I don't know if you guys have seen that. That's pretty good. Chosen follows Jesus, when he was getting his
But
apostles
yeah.
together.
Yeah, but I just think it's just one of those days where everybody is, everybody's happy, and just think about it.
Mhm.
What is the biggest day that people think about Yeshua? Easter
Easter.
Sunday.
Right.
Yep.
It's Easter
Yep.
Sunday, so it makes sense. Now we can't say that it's going to happen. Okay, we're not
Right.
going to be prophets here. So if
No.
we're still here, I don't want anyone coming back at me and saying, "Well, you said it's going to happen," because
Right.
you all know what you're going to get from me if you come back at me at that. It's not going to be pretty. Just saying.
Yep.
We're not making predictions. This is something that could happen, but if you think about it, it would be, if it does happen, it would be so magnificent, because
It would
the
be amazing.
ascend, and I listen. No one knows exactly. I really think it's going to be a solar flare, because
what-
didn't you?
No, go ahead.
We're going to say about the Kim. You want me to pull a card?
No, I was just going to say, what was it Trump said in 2020 about Easter?
He said, well, what he said is in 2020, he was saying, everything's going to open up on Easter. That's what he said. Everything is going to open up on Easter. And he was talking about, because of the stupid lockdowns.
So what
and
if
all
the
that.
heavens open up?
Correct. Well, do you remember, Delphine, the first time I was going to be on with you and Jay and Dennis, and I told you the night before I had that dream, and in the dream I saw the sky opening up, and I saw Yeshua in the sky, and I saw people. They were like, everybody was in the street. They were all looking up. And they all dropped to their knees and raised their hands. And then I woke up. I was like, oh my God. And that was only a couple months ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's imminent. Something's gonna happen. I mean, I really believe that. And we just have to get the whole of this is that you have to stay strong, you have to stay in your truth, and you have to, no fear, and get right, get in your heart what it is that your intention, and that's it.
DHP Jr., I'm sorry that I keep on saying Jesus. You need to be patient with me, but I have been saying Jesus for 52 years, so get over it. If I say Jesus, get over it. Okay? My brother, I'm going to give it back to you because we know it's Yeshua, but get over it. If it's triggering you, too bad.
Oh, another
Put
thing.
your ears.
Really, Lori said her aunt had the same dream similar to what I had. Oh, that's interesting. When did she have that dream, Lori? I love it. Kendra's here. Hi, Kendra.
Remember that Pluto just went into Aquarius, and Pluto represents life and death and rebirth.
Oh, that's right.
And Aquarius represents ascension and humanity.
Ooh.
Wow, that's interesting. See, it's all coming together, everybody. It really is. I really believe that. She had
I get mad at myself when I say Jesus instead of Yeshua too, because it's Yeshua. But it's like, if I do it, please, I'm sorry. I don't mean to trigger people. I'm trying to remember Yeshua. But like I said, it's been drilled in me for 52 years. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, we all are learning how to change it, It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like trying to remember to say understand instead of understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to stop myself from saying amen. Do you know how hard it is for me to say amen? Because
I said it tonight. I was like,
and I have to stop myself from crossing myself. These are things that have been like totally drilled into us, brainwashed into us, and it's very, very hard to stop these things. It's like second nature.
So bad. I mean, seriously. I mean, and I didn't even go to. I mean, like I said, I stopped going to church when I was little, and even at that, I'm still having to try and remember not to say the A word and say "so be it." And say,
it is. It's so hard, isn't it?
Yes.
So
I mean,
hard.
that's ingrained in us. We don't even realize it. You just think that that's the way it is. And that's what you're
Exactly.
supposed to do. Cecilia just showed up. Hi, Cecilia and Kendra.
Also last night I got up to go to the bathroom and I was still half asleep. And
Mhm.
Spirit often talks to me, so like I have clairaudience, so I hear things.
Mm-hmm.
Only when I'm not getting in my own way.
You
But
can actually physically hear a voice. I don't mean to interrupt you.
I
I'm just curious.
actually hear. Well, I hear it in my head.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So when I'm half asleep, it works really well because I'm not in my way. And I heard. Well, they said bye bye Biden. And then I didn't catch that because I was
Love
still
it.
half asleep, so they repeated it. Bye bye Biden. And then I was like, oh my God.
Tell me it's today. Tell me it's today. I can't wait for Brandon to make his exit. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so much fun to see all that. I mean, people are gonna be freaked out. We're gonna be like rejoicing. That's what's funny about all this. People are gonna, the people that are not awake, they're all gonna be like freaking out, and we're just gonna be like, whatever. We're gonna be happy. We're gonna be rejoicing.
Right.
Mhm.
And it was David R. Hawkins who wrote the book Power versus Force.
Mhm.
And he talked about how one person who has a really high frequency and who's vibrating at a really high frequency counterbalances like 50,000 people that are really negative.
Ooh.
See,
So
now, if
a lot of power.
Yeshua does come, he
Mhm.
would be the vibrational being that would, raise everybody else's vibration.
Mhm.
Like that would be
Mhm.
amazing.
But I think it's the Christ consciousness that's coming and not actually Yeshua.
Not actually Jesus. I mean, Jeshua.
Yeah. I
Like,
never believed that. I personally, I mean, I know people have had dreams like that, but
mhm.
I don't see Jesus coming from the sky. I
Mm-mm.
don't.
Mm-mm.
Well, it's
I don't
weird
think it's
because
gonna
I've
be.
never thought about it really, honestly. And then I did just have that dream randomly. I mean, it was
I
kind of
know.
weird. It was just random, is all.
Right.
It was interesting. Well, the other, what else that I got though is that I had that dream, and then I thought that maybe that would be what they were going to try to do to fake it. You know what I mean? The baddies to fake it, and people
Like
were thinking
well, they
it.
do say on this certain timeline there's always going to be a false Messiah. I mean, the
Right.
Antichrist. It's going to be the Messiah and the Antichrist. Okay, let's put it this way: the Antichrist is not going to appear as the Antichrist. He
No,
could appear he's going to be in wool in sheep's clothing, so he's probably going to appear probably like a Messiah. But people will know. The right people will know who is and isn't the Messiah. Trust.
yeah.
And I don't think we're going to be around the true people. The children of God are not going to be around. Like you didn't you say, Carrie, that we're going to have some kind of a Merkaba around us?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Merkaba, yeah. And so that will protect us from, whatever the solar flare or whatever it is, the 0 point, whatever it is that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our ascension vehicle. I've heard that said a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, it makes sense. I wonder if that's amazing.
But
That's amazing.
I love that we are wired for this. That we actually have
That's
these
amazing.
quartz crystals at our nerve endings, and I just love that. I think that's so amazing.
It is. And another thing too is that our pineal gland, some people call it pineal, I
Yeah.
call it the pineal gland. That also has
That's
if
quartz.
lots of quartz. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of quartz.
Yeah.
But
There's a reason for it. There's a reason
Yep.
for it, and they've tried to dampen it for I mean, they've
Mhm.
dampened it, with all of the chemical.
Fluoride.
Everybody's third eye is closed. I mean, they've been trying to damage it, crystallize it, so that cloak it, so we don't pay attention to it.
Fluoride has been the biggest enemy of
Yeah.
our
This
pineal
stuff
gland.
was
That's
fluoride a
poison,
long
and it
time
doesn't fight cavities at all.
No,
And so
bad.
no, it doesn't fight cavities at
No,
all.
I've
Fluoride.
been
They
arguing
put
with
it in
my
the water,
dentist for
remember?
30 years on that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I've been,
Sherry?
I've been arguing with my dentist for 30 years about fluoride.
Oh, I know. They try to tell me, and I'm like, no, I don't. One said, "Do you want a do you want a treatment?" I'm like, why would you give me poison?
Right. I mean, I
don't want
haven't
poison.
used fluoride. When I started waking up in 2015, and I researched that, and I'm like, I'm not going to use fluoride anymore. I haven't used it since 2015. Fluoride, but they,
Yeah. So there's also many things that are crystal. Like I didn't understand. Oh, somebody said in the chat earlier that our heart has our own mind, and yes, our heart has our own mind. Our
Mhm.
heart,
Mhm.
that's in our solar plexus. I believe that's the mind of our spirit. Is that what your
That
friend
sounds about
is
right. Yeah.
alluding to, Carrie?
Yeah. And she even said, as silly as this might sound, I was saying that I've been so drawn to all of the golden yellow stones, like citrine and that.
Mhm.
And she reminded me that Yeshua is the keeper of the golden flame, the golden light. Archangel Michael is the blue, and Archangel Raphael is the emerald green. The ray. That was
Okay,
it.
the color rays. Okay, there's all the different colors. Okay.
And Yeshua is the gold ray.
good.
Yep.
And so anyway, she said, take your citrine, take your yellow crystals, and like get an ace bandage and wrap it around where your solar plexus is, and stick the yellow stones in there so it can activate your solar plexus more.
Ooh, I have a lot of
Ooh, that's
citrine, so that's
good.
good. That's really good.
Or you can
Citrine.
use like sports tape and tape
Yeah.
it on there. But yeah, so I
That's
did that.
awesome. That is so awesome. That's amazing. It's like I feel it could really be eminent. I know it's eminent, and it's really hard because we're in the in between now, and we're stuck in between two worlds, and
Yeah.
we're tired,
Yeah.
physically, mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
It's I just think we just like I think what you said is very, very, very pertinent and very profound is that Carrie, is that you're saying it always gets the worst, like the birth example. I've never given birth, but that's a prime example. It's always the worst right before, like the last
The
push
darkest
is the
before
worst.
the dawn. Yeah. It's always darkest before the dawn. It's always and literally it is. They told me that ahead of time. They said just when you think you can't stand another birth pain and you just, and I literally did. I screamed, just cut me, just get this baby out, and then he crowned. So I mean, it really does work that way.
Well, I think we all need to collectively be like, let's go, let's do this, let's get our, we just have to gather up, like I said, the armor of God, and let's do this. And we just gotta stay in the game, get in the game.
Okay. So it could happen, could not happen. We'll see what happens. That's for sure. But so I'm just perplexed. I'm mind boggled at what could possibly happen in 2 days. And quite frankly, I don't know. My problem is that, especially the last couple of weeks, is that I have completely disengaged in 3D. Like I barely go to the shop, and I don't even want to go shopping. I'm so exhausted. So
Yeah.
I think,
I just want to kiss.
oh,
Kisses
I
and
know.
hugs.
This is my heart dog. This is my heart dog. This dog has been in every lifetime with me.
Oh,
wow, that's amazing.
I love it. She's so cute. Oh, look, she's looking at you. She loves her mom.
Everybody knows that all animals and children go with you because they're innocent, right? So all the animals are coming. And
Say that, yeah.
The children apparently go with the highest frequency parent.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is interesting. I wondered what happened. I wonder what happened with that. Um, and
My
I do
family's so
think that,
screwed up. Why would I pick that family?
yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering though, do you get to choose? Oh, never mind. Just keep going. I lost my train of thought. Keep going.
Come on, spit it out, Delphine.
No, it's all good. Go
Okay.
ahead. All animals, all children go. I had a question and then I forgot about it. And then I forgot what I was going to say.
Hate when
Something
that
about like your relationships and with people and stuff. But
Well, I think that there are in life. I mean, we're a soul tribe. Everybody here, everybody watching, whatever. We're sisters for sure. I mean, and we recognize we all come and go in certain like people come and go into your life at certain times. Okay, for certain reasons. You know, because sometimes okay, so you'll have friends in school and high school, and then you might stay in touch with them a couple of years after college, but that's it, right? And then you might go, you go through another stage of your life, and you might hang on to a couple of those, but then not really. Everybody, I think every stage of life we choose who our friends are going to be, why they're going to come into our life. I really think that we sort of, okay, I'd like you to come with me, I want
yeah,
you to be
everybody,
my
yeah,
friend. You
it's a
know what I
soul
mean?
contract. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all pick our people. We all know
yeah,
that. We
for
all pick our
sure,
people for
for
sure.
sure.
We
For
we
this time, I mean, there's a
we
reason,
know everything before we agree to everything before we come down here. But the
right?
bottom line is this: with this last life, we have to understand that we've been living this past life for a
A
really
very,
long time. Now that people have to wrap their head around this. So I've said this many times on my channel, and we
right.
got this from Jay Rocco. So here you got to wrap around this because this is the final life. And this is okay. This is the one where we eradicate the world of all evil
Yeah, people.
that we have. So, in other words, we haven't had to be die and be reborn in order to come back to this life. We have been at this life, the same people would live in this life for thousands of years, and Satan has been messing with our timeline.
Yes.
That's why we're tired.
Really?
Now,
And that's
yes,
yes, and
rap.
that's
Hold on, let me finish.
go ahead.
That's why we're so tired.
Whoa.
I agree. And it makes sense
Yes.
too. That's why they want to meet in April because they want us to go back. They're trying to control the timeline. They want to put us back on their timeline.
Yeah. So does that make sense, Carrie? So I know because a long time ago when I first met Jay Rocco, he was like, we all know each other because this is a past life. We're reliving a past life. And I'm like, and like this is a past life. So that's why the deja vu and everything. And
Yeah.
then he's like, you think, and I go, yeah, I get it. He goes, you think you do, but someday you're gonna get it, and all of a sudden it's gonna be like, and then he said it, and then I was on air live, and all of a sudden I go, wait, and I was
Yeah.
reading cards, and all of a sudden there was a download, and I said, wait a minute, Jay, I think I get what you mean. And then I said, Jay, I'm getting that we didn't have to die and keep it being born into this life until we got it right. Like many do. We've been here. The timelines have just been screwed. So we've been like we haven't died and been reborn. We've just been on different timelines I don't even know how many years. Like it could have been hundreds of years or however long it took. Yeah, and wrap your head around that. I got that download, and King of Cups also confirmed it. Isn't that amazing?
I love it. I love
Wow.
it.
I can't wrap
But
my head
doesn't it
around
make
that.
sense? Doesn't it make sense though, in a way?
It does, but I almost need you to like word it another way.
Okay, how do I put it? Okay, so say I was born in 1971. Okay. In this time frame, in this life, Satan could have made it so he could have taken me off this timeline and put me on another timeline and made it so I was, you know what I'm saying? He could have messed everything up. You see,
But we
you see,
don't even
so
know.
I could have gone back to the past and the forward because there's no time. So he could, so, okay, how do I put it? It's so hard to wrap around. Maybe we'll have to talk to Jay about it.
Yeah.
It's like just when I think I can explain it, I can't explain
It's
it.
hard. It's like okay, our soul is going from timeline to timeline, but we are still living. You know what I'm saying? So that, and we just get yanked from this one to that one to this one to
Yes,
that one,
yes, yes.
right? And so
Okay,
and then
so we're on. Okay. How do I put this? There's a Delphine born in 1971, but I'm born in all these different timelines. Okay,
right.
okay. So that means that I could have been and back in Egypt in like 2,000 years ago, and I could have just jumped from that to be Delphine in 1971, and then I could go back to this one and go back to that one. So what I guess what he's saying is that maybe maybe the life before this one that we think, the one before this one, we didn't actually die. We just changed timelines. Does that make any sense? I don't know how to explain it. It's very
Yeah.
complicated. I think I understand it, but
If you look at the
I'm probably not
string theory,
explaining it right.
well, there's that the string theory with the time. So there's a bunch of times going on at the same time, and that would
Mhm.
be what you're talking about. I mean, like when I was doing the paranormal stuff, right? And one of the mediums, he was trying to explain it to me, the string therapy, the string theory that like I'm here, but I'm also, part of me is over there and over there, and we're all at the same time living our lives. And in fact, what was so interesting the other day when I was at the store, some lady said, she walked up to me just out of the blue. I mean, she was shopping, and she goes, "You look just like a friend of mine. What's your
Right.
name?" I said, "Chrissy." And oh no, that's not her name, but you look just like her. Just
I
like,
get that a lot.
she said to me, "Who knows? Maybe you must have a doppelganger out there." And I thought, wow, that's interesting. Around
Yeah.
this time, to have that said,
I wish Joe was in the chat so he could explain it better, but I'll have him explain it in a way that we'll understand because I'm probably confusing people, but it's hard to
You
wrap
know what
your
also-
head around.
His
Have
dog
you
is
also noticed
sick.
that in
So.
this lifetime, it feels like we've lived all these different lifetimes all in this one?
Yes.
I mean, like there's been certain lessons I've had to learn, and there's all these chunks of life where it felt like each one of those could have been an entire lifetime on its own, and it was all
Mhm.
condensed into this one maybe 10-year period. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. I mean,
Yep.
we think of it, there's only time in 3D. Only in this, there's no time anywhere else. It's non-existent. So if there's no time anywhere else, then you think about it, they can really mess with the time here because it's man-made anyways. It's not of spirit.
It's,
So
it's part of the Matrix, that's what
Yeah.
they did.
Right.
So interesting, isn't it?
it is.
It's mind-boggling because you're trying to wrap your head around it, but I mean, and everything that we do here is destined
Mhm.
because it's part of our soul contract.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and
Yep.
everybody that we're in contact with, that meet us, that we're involved in, they're all part of our soul tribe. They're the ones
Yep.
that we just
Yep.
come down here with.
For sure. Sure. Hey, Carrie, did your friend say anything about anything about 5D at all, or anything after the ascension? Did she get any of that, or is it just mostly? Has she ever talked to you about it?
Not in this particular conversation, but I've had other conversations with her that I can go over my notes of.
Okay,
But yeah, not in this.
unbelievable. I remember you telling us that we had the conversation of the Heavens Cross portal. That was the big one. That was like the big one a few weeks ago.
Oh, right,
That was
yeah.
like the initial one. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's when we were little kids, never in our wildest dreams did we ever think that reality's more than science fiction.
No.
I do. Another thing I think we need to pray for too is, and to help the ones that are, not that it's not their burden, but I do think and we've said this before, I think we need to pray for a supernatural event, because I think the world needs to know who's really in charge. And I think we need
I
to
agree.
really pray for that. We need that. We really do, because no one is going to believe that God is in charge until he shows the world who's in
Who
charge.
he is, yes.
And
Well,
quite
I
frankly,
agree.
look at what happened in Brazil.
Oh
tell
yeah,
that
bring it
story.
Yeah.
That's my area. Blah blah blah.
Apparently,
Blah, blah.
apparently in this town in Brazil, like a week ago, I don't know how long ago.
I'm just
It
gonna
wasn't
step
very
away
long
for a minute.
ago. It wasn't long ago. They were doing this this demonstration, like this. They were acting out this whole thing with Satan, and they were like dragging a representation of Yeshua through the streets and making it look like Satan had won. And they were doing this in this town in Brazil, and it was 24 hours later, and that town completely flooded, like 30 feet of water totally flooded this town.
They got
So
what they deserved, man. You do not do that. That's
don't
mocking.
mess with God.
You're
God's
gonna
not
mock
messing around.
God like that? I mean, that's blasphemy. Huge blasphemy. I mean, and that's the thing, and that's what we have to remember during this Easter, but also, this whole satanic, they're calling it the Satanic Con, Con in
Mhm.
Boston, and that needs to be, they're doing a revival in Boston to combat it, and we all need to do this. I think across the nation, every single state, we need to get something going. And maybe, do you have any ideas, Carrie? Because you're here,
Well, I
you're
mean-
not too. What do you think?
Well, just what I'm reminded of is what David R. Hawkins talks about, that one person who's in their heart, who's at the highest frequency. Now, joy would be the highest frequency. I don't know if you can summon joy, but the higher you can raise your frequency, you are counterbalancing 50,000 people in a very, very low frequency. So,
We
God
can
always
take them out easily. We can take these evil people out.
Right.
Yeah.
So if raising your frequency is just thinking about the heart, praying, being in joy. And that, I think that's one of the reasons why Julie Green tells people, when God is always, in her downloads, is always saying, rejoice. It has
Yes.
already happened. Like, if we're speaking we're speaking our existence, then we have to speak like we're already won. Rejoice, praise the Lord, and dance
Yes.
like it's already happened. We
Yes.
have to act and rejoice and party like they've already been defeated, and
Mhm.
we're already in 5D, and we're flying around in our spaceships being
Yes.
superheroes. We
Yes.
have to party and say it and speak it in. That's what people don't understand. Whenever there was a breakthrough with God, whenever it was like when the Pharaoh and everything, what did he tell people to do? And people said it was crazy. Pray, rejoice, say it. Right? Because it's like people will say, "Oh, you can manifest your own life. You can manifest your destiny." And they go, "Oh, but we do." No, you have more power than you think.
Speak
If
it
you
in.
really believe that, you speak it in, then speak it in, and say, "Well, thank you, God. Think we should be rejoicing." What
We should
would
be thanking.
piss off Satan more than if we got all these people around the satanic church? So, hallelujah, praise the Lord. They would be
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Teeny
That's the way
tiny.
it is. That's how it is. So basically, he wants us to not praise the Lord. He wants us. The constant distractions. So if we're doing that, we're bringing it in. So we have more power. So I think the takeaway for this is that, we think that there is divine timing. Let's face it. It's God's timing. It's divine timing. However,
Yes.
if we want to speed it up if we want to put it in overdrive and kind of press fast forward, we're part of this, and all we have to do is be a part. If we're pushing it up the hill, the more people push it up the hill, we're going to get over the hill, and we help speed it up.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it. So it's time to pray and pray and pray.
We gotta just act as if we're
Right.
already there.
Right.
We're already there. We've already won.
Well,
Because we
I told Delphine after we got off the phone earlier, what was in my head is we are the champions.
Yeah, exactly.
We are the champions.
Right.
You know, it was just in my head for like, for 10 minutes afterward. I was just like, yeah.
It's true. We have.
So
The only way that Satan has been allowed to do what he's doing is trickery.
yes,
It's all
called
trickery,
and fear.
scheming. Yeah,
Trickery and
fear
fear.
and taking away our power, but he has no power over any children of the Lord. Like, we have to understand that these demons and these evil people, they are afraid of us.
Yeah.
They're afraid of and if you say the name of Yeshua, I mean, they're gone. We have
They're
more
gone.
power than they do. We really do. And especially now with the veil. And
There's apparently some town in South America right now where if you say Yeshua's name, they will put you in jail for a year.
Yeah. Can you believe that? They're persecuting people for, standing up. I mean, this is the year of persecution, and we have to stand up. And I mean, listen, not for nothing, but Trump sort of symbolizes, those that believe. I mean, he
He's
does,
David.
because he's going through, what he's going through. He's our David. He's anointed.
Mhm.
And we have to stand up and be brave, just like him. I mean, listen, his whole family is under attack 24/7.
Yep.
For 7 years.
Did anything happen? I can't wait to see what's going to happen to that town eventually, or that place, because that's just like the flood. Just like the flood.
I mean,
I
you
love
do
it. I
not
think
do that. I can't
I
believe
love
they
that
Well,
story.
And what about a tsunami in LA? If that really does happen, I mean, there's a lot of evil that's taking place in LA.
That whole place is demonic anyway. I mean,
I just hope Jason Bryan and his little Starseed daughter get the hell out
I
of here.
know that's the only.
There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of people that live in California.
My brother lives. He lives in the middle
There's
of
a more red people. That's a red state. I hate to tell you, there's a red state. So I hope that that a lot of people are safe. But if there is a tsunami, I have a feeling that all of God's people are going to be okay, and it's only the riffraff that's going to be taken away.
Like with the tornadoes, you can see a town that's just been wrecked by a tornado, and yet there are certain houses that look untouched.
Yes.
How do you explain that?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It's God's hand, I'm telling you. These people are protected. People are protected that are, truly for God, truly on the team God.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And another
we
thing.
were talking earlier, and we were all saying that we all should have died several times over by now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. Something stopped time on those stairs. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know for a fact. And there's been other times when, like, I've almost been hit by a car. Other things, and I should have. And I mean, I've had 6 different surgeries. I mean, who's to say something. There was a time after my 3rd back surgery. I'll never forget this. I was having muscle spasms, and I said, can I get a muscle relaxer or something, because I was having so many spasms. I was having so much shocks. Anyway, and they gave me something, and my mom said that she called, and I sounded weird or what. I don't remember even picking up the phone or anything. And by the time she got to the hospital, I was just like out cold. And they had to give me something to counteract it. Like I had a reaction to whatever it was. And I never knew what it was. I only heard like from my mom what happened. I never even knew what it was. But I mean, like, who knows? Something stepped in there too. I think that the people that are supposed to be standing during this time and spreading the word and spreading, trying to get people to, get in the game and look to God. I mean, there's a reason why we're here. I'm here with you ladies, and we're talking here tonight. There's a reason that we're all together were brought together.
Yeah.
There really is.
Yep. And the reason why I wanted 3 women on tonight is because I know that pisses off Satan and he hates
Yep.
women. And there's a twine. So that's my little FU to that demon spawn that's going to get his. And I'm
Yep.
getting his. Oh, I'm gonna get
1,000
his.
years in the cage, I'm happy.
Yeah.
1,000
I
years
don't,
of
I,
church.
I don't quite understand why God has to let him out of the cage. I think
Me
God just ought to
either.
wipe him out, but I'm not a supernatural being, so I can't,
Yeah.
I'm not going to even think about that.
You can't even question
Okay.
that.
We're going on 10 o'clock. We've been on for 2
Oh, yeah,
hours.
we
Oh
gotta
my
go.
gosh.
We
Yeah.
got to go. This has been wonderful. Thanks again for coming on the last minute, girls. I think this was very, very important. I put the link to the Boston revival. It's on. It's been on the scroll. And I'll put it. I put the link at the very top of the very top of the chat. Pinned it to my top comment. So happy Easter weekend, even though we know it's not really Easter weekend and this really didn't happen. However, this is a great time, even though we know that it's a Hallmark holiday and this wasn't really when it happened. This is a good time for us to really focus on Yeshua and what he went through, okay? Regardless of whether you are religious or not, we need to get over that. Yeshua was on a cross and was crucified, not for us, but because of the sins of the world and the evil at the time. The same demon cabal that was ruling the world back then that killed Yeshua is the same one now. We're in supernatural times. Okay, so now it's time to really focus on Yeshua and focus on love and focus on God. Let this Easter weekend focus on that and not focus on the bad. And if I pray, and if I can pray all night tonight, I'm going to be doing a lot of praying. And my prayer is that the next time I see you all is in person in the next dimension.
Yeah.
I love you all so very much. And we're at the precipice. We really, really are. We're at the precipice.
Yep.
So we're there, folks, and we have each other. And I know I speak for all of us that aren't we so lucky to be here and lucky to have each other.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the day that I can hug and kiss you all in person.
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna have we're gonna have a Soul Tribe meet someday soon.
Right. Listen, we won't even have to plan it this time. We'll just snap our fingers and we'll all be together.
I'll be like, okay, we're gonna go over to Delphine's and do a video. All right, we'll just that's it. I'm there. How are you? Wow, where did you pop in from?
we can travel in our Merkabahs.
Right.
Man, you'll be like, what the heck are you doing?
Yep.
I need to know you're coming out of the shower.
Exactly.
Maybe
Exactly. So we're on the precipice, folks. We're on the precipice, and I look forward to it. So I'll let Chrissy and Carrie have little final words, and then we'll take off. So, Chrissy, what are your final words for tonight?
My final words is stay strong, no fear, no fear. Stand in your truth, speak your truth, speak out what we want. We want this evil abolished, and I love everybody, and I'm grateful to be here too. And thank you for having your show, Delphine. I love you, sister.
Love you. I believe this is Mary. This is my Mary from. Is this Mary from? Glimpse and Beyond, the most beautiful Mary. Love you, Mary. Many blessings of divine light, comfort, and awesome miracles of love. Yes. Absolutely beautiful. Carrie, thank you so much for coming on last minute. And thank you so much for all the updates and that information. I think everyone was really happy to hear that, to get that insight. And do you have any last minute?
Yeah, no matter what, we're all in practice mode right now. So let's practice trying to stay out of separation and duality, and just practice staying in your heart and staying in witness state and just watching and being in the world but not of it. Just watching the movie and just stay in your heart.
Yep.
And we got this. We've totally got this. We've
already won. We've won already. We are the champions, people. We're the champions.
Chrissy's gonna let's got off here and start put on her Queen.
Yeah.
We are the champions.
First, we gotta do we will rock you, and then we are the champions, my friend.
And we'll keep
Oh,
on fighting.
exactly. This has been
I'm not Queen,
magnificent.
sorry. I can't
Yeah.
sing.
I can, but my throat is all sore.
Unless it's too proud of mine. I did a one time. My very first karaoke song I ever sung was "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses, and they all clapped, and I'm like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just singing. And I liked it. So I'm like, okay, I can do Axl Rose, and that's probably it. Anyway, well, I love you both, and I'm glad
You guys. Love you. I'll be on tomorrow night doing tarot at 8. So I'll see you, Soul Tribe. Love you guys in the chat. Love you on the screen. Good night, everybody. Love you all.
Love you.
Love you.
Happy Easter if I don't see you.
Bye.